Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to day 6 of my December dailies. I'm Catherine, by the way, and I'm also known as Sunnyside Journals. Oh, there you go. Sorry, you're all covered up. How did I get glue on you? Well, I guess it's going to be bashed up by the end of the month, so why not? Oh, that looks like Fabri-Tac when you do the swirly swirly to try and get the tail to end. There's going to be shadows today. It is so dark. Our morning started off pouring rain, and it has now turned into beautiful fluffy snow, but it's still very dark because the cloud coverage, in order for it to snow the way it's snowing, it just means that I've got to have all my lights going. So day 6 of my December daily collage challenge that I am doing along with 49 Dragonflies, Barbara. So I've made my decision for today's December daily collage. Let's find a pen. I am going to use, where is it? I know it's here. I want to use fabric. Tools, faux stitching, washi, something recycled. You know what? So many of my collage themes could fit so many of these suggestions. It's nice that I can use one and still make a reason to use another. Okay, use a napkin either as a background or a focal. Boy, that would work too. Maybe I'll use that one today, and I'll leave the fabric one so that I can use fabric again, because here it says add fabric and lace. I'm going to use a napkin, and maybe I'm pushing my luck here, because I would suspect Barbara meant a paper napkin, but I'm going to use a fabric napkin as my focal. Well, yeah, I guess it's one of the focals. And then my story that it's going to go with is, where is it? The story of the table gifts. So that's for day 6. You know what? I'm going to write in here day 6. So let me put that aside. And let's get started. I'm going to, as I did yesterday, I'm going to be pausing and going so that I can make the most of my time, because my phone only lets me have about actually 32 minutes, but I try and limit myself to 30. So I will be doing some pausing and starting just when I'm doing something that just takes a long time and everyone knows, you know, things like fussy cutting and that. Now I need a page. Maybe we'll work on the back. No, you know what? Let's split these all up. Let's do one of these pages. Let's do this page in the second signature. So, I've changed my mind. I thought I was going to use this as the background, but I'm not, because I decided, because I'm going to tell the story of the table gifts. And this is something that we did when I was growing up as a child, and I didn't really actually do it with my children. We had a different way of having little gifts. And I'll explain that on another time, of a little basket of gifts. And it's actually where I got the idea from, the table gifts when I was growing up. So let me get started here, and then I'll explain what table gifts are. I want this to sort of, in a way, look like a dining room. And this napkin, it's Christmas napkin. I got it thrifting. Where are we here? 59 cents. But knowing me, an item like this, they're plenty. They're always at thrift stores. And items like this, I will usually even wait until Boxing Day sales, where they sell everything at like 90% off at thrift stores because they don't want to have to store it for a year. So I suspect I probably maybe even paid 10 cents or 5 cents for this. I want to make a pocket that looks like a dining room table, and I thought this napkin actually looks like a teeny tiny version of one of those old 50s and 60s tablecloths. So I want to make a pocket that looks like a dining room table, and that meant I need the background to sort of look like a dining room, because table gifts happened in my family after dinner. So I'm going to tilt this a bit because I have a feeling I'm going to be working up here a bit. And I found always, you know what, I thought, oh, I want a picture of a happy family at the dinner table. And I wanted color, like a color photo. And I couldn't find a happy family at the dinner table. I found this little happy family at the dinner table. But the father's saying a prayer before dinner, and that just isn't an accurate depiction of the dinners, the Christmas dinners that I grew up with. But I kind of liked these candles and the holly up here. So I think I'm going to use those, because we always had candles on our dinner table and the holly, you know. So let's take this out. Let's see if I can carefully just tear it out. Yep, it's coming out. What year is this one? Feels like an oldie but goodie. It is 1963. That's definitely an oldie but goodie. So I'm going to do a scalloped edge. Boy, I know next year, do not give myself scalloped edges. I thought, oh, won't this look nice? Hold on. All right, so that way I can at least sort of make that scalloped edge look intentional. All right, so how... Don't want it right out. We'll take it to there. Yeah, hold on. Let's do the other measurement, shall we? This is going to be covered up. So, and that's all right. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. That way I have a little bit of room in case I plop it down and I have to do a little bit of extra trimming. There we go. Not sure. This can go into my bin. My saving bin. All right. That, let's see. I'm not taking it exactly to this edge so that it doesn't bulk up the fold. Boy, am I ever glad I gave myself a big enough book. Oh, I'm already glad, because I can already tell that this is going to be a very bulky book. So, and I'm having fun with it. No regrets on it being bulky. I want each page to be a little tiny Christmas adventure. All right, I'm going to glue this down. No need to waste time. Not bad. It's not a bad plop down. It's a little tiny bit uneven. That's okay. A human made this. And that just verifies that a human made this. Their flawed great-great-grandmother. 75 years from now, they'll know that their flawed great-great-grandmother sat at a table and made this. There we go. All right. Now, it just, you know me, those edges, it just looks a little more finished, just in case they peek out. This part's going to be hidden, but in case I don't do another really good plop down with the gluing, I do like the edge to still look finished. All right, now this is going to be the tricky part. And I'm going to need, an offcut from a file folder. Found one. Sorry, did a pause. All right, so yes, it's a circle. I needed a circle for something. Now, let's just take off and give myself a straight edge so that I can make my pocket. Not sure how big I want this pocket to be. Maybe about there. And then I want another scallop edge. All right, I gave that another scalloped edge. So my little pocket can go right here. And actually now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why did I bother? This isn't going to show when I'm done. And I do want that lower. I want more of the candles showing. But, oh wait. All right, let me tell you what I'm thinking about doing. I want to make the pocket look like a tablecloth. So I actually want to add, I want to fold this over so it looks like a draped tablecloth. So now I'm going to have to think this out because I want it to sort of have a pleat, like the corner of a table. Now how am I going to do this? And I bet all the sewers right now are saying, well, Catherine, do this, 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 and this. Yeah, I don't know. Right, that might work. But then how do I get the other side to also cooperate so that I have, maybe I'm going to have to do it in the center here so that that folds like that. No. All right, I'm going to pause and think about this because this is puzzling me and I know I can do it. I will do this. Okay, I think I figured out what I need to do because I want it to look like that, but I want the paper covered and I want this part to be sort of draped over. So I'm going to go press this and that will help me work with where I'm going to cut my fabric out. Hold on again. Okay, I figured it out and I just ironed and pressed and cut around it until I got it, and then I debulked it in the back. So now I need to glue it down. Now if they lift it up, I don't want that showing. Because little kids get onto the table and lift up the tablecloth. Let me find it. I just need a quick little offcut of any kind of, it's not the right shade. Just need a little quick little offcut. Come on. Maybe just some old vintage wrapping paper underneath. That will do. Did they use, oh good, they didn't use, I thought they'd used masking tape. Oh, they did down there. I just need a bit. I'm just going to tear a little bit off. Now, I need to figure out, I think this is pressed enough that I can take it out for a second and glue some of this down. Oh gosh, I'm at 15 minutes already. I'm going to use some of this and also some Fabri-Tac. Oh wait, no, this is paper right now. I can use art glitter glue. Yeah. Come on. So that I know it stays down. Especially on this bottom part. The top part, I'm going to sew it, I think. Boy, this is this episode is definitely a by guess and by golly episode. But I have a good feeling. And I will get to the part where I explain what table gifts are. Because they were a lot of fun. Oh, haha, I've been pausing so much. Come on. All right, so that way, if somebody lifts the table, they'll see some Christmas wrap underneath, and it won't just be, oh, wow, there's a file folder under there. Now I need to glue. That's still quite bulky. Maybe I'll glue that first, and that way once it's dry, I can debulk those folds so that my pocket isn't too bulky. So if it's going to be going that way, and it needs to go there, then this needs to get the glue. Talking to myself as I try and figure it out. There we go. So if I slide you under, and glue you down, glue you down, then I can debulk some of this fold here so that it still looks folded, but it doesn't take up so much space. Boy, I'm enjoying this challenge today. Do you see where I'm going with this? How cute is that? Now it's going to stick out the bottom of the book. I don't mind. That's just really, really cute. And it looks like a little tablecloth. All right, I'm going to let this dry. So I'm going to pause for a minute because I'm getting short on time. All right, so I've glued it all down. And this is the front of my pocket. And the tablecloth, you can lift it up and there's a present under, well, present wrapping so that it camouflages it. Now, this is perfect. This is what a table would have been set like when I was growing up. If you've ever watched that movie, A Christmas Story, the one with Ralphie, those were my Christmases, including the chaos with the children. I had three brothers and my cousins that came for Christmas. There were three boys there. They were all the same age. My oldest brother and my twin cousins were all the same age, David and Donnie. And then my middle brother arrived, and then a few years later, my brother Mark and my cousin Tim arrived, and then I was last. So, yeah, there was just a lot of energetic boys around. It made for fun, though, don't get me wrong. It did make for fun. But I was very much a little girl who loved my dollies. I loved dolls. I loved Barbies. Paper dolls, regular dolls. I must admit, I definitely was a doll girl. And arts and music kind of girl. And they definitely liked rough and tumble things. Anyhow, yeah, so, that kind of Christmas, well, we didn't have Chinese food, but, so let's put this on here so that we have our tablecloth pocket. Now, let me make sure I don't have it sticking out the bottom on this side. So I used 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac, that kind of an acetone-based glue because of the fabric that I used to, you slid. Hold on, there we go. Now that needs to dry. So I've sort of got my table background candles, my tablecloth, and now comes the story of the table gifts. So one year, after a wonderful Christmas day, 2 big families together, so unwrapping the presents took us well into the afternoon. And then dinner, cooking, and finally sitting down to dinner, and a wonderful cooked dinner. We were finishing up one year, and my dad said, "That was such a perfect day. It was just from, getting up in the morning and opening presents and having a beautiful dinner." He said, "Wouldn't it have been nice if we all could have just had one more little present to open?" And that was the start of what our family started calling table gifts. And the following Christmas, everyone had the instructions that they had to buy a tiny little gift, something small. It could be as simple as a hair comb, a toothbrush, a horn that you toot on. It had to be just small, very inexpensive, $1 or less, especially back then. It would have gone a long way. A candy bar, a whistle. And then what you did was you wrapped it up in so that nobody knew which table gift was yours. And everyone would put their table gifts into a basket. And then, and you try your best to have it a unisex table gift so that no matter who picked out what, they would hopefully enjoy it. And it usually started oldest to youngest. So it just, actually oldest, and then it went around the table, pardon me. And so usually that was granddad, and then it was gran, and, as we started losing family members and that. But we would go around the table and choose something, a wrapped little tiny gift out of the basket. And then we would the last present of the day, we would all open together. And that's what table gifts were. And we did it for years. And I actually, I still have one of the table gifts. Hold on, I'm going to go get it. So, this was my mother's table gift that she opened. in 1965. And I know that because she actually took the time, she wrote it on the back. That's my mom's handwriting. This was her table gift. That's what I mean by it could be just something simple and funny. Look at those. We used to laugh and say that it kind of looked like Uncle Kenny after he'd had a little too much Carling Redcap. Anyhow, she saved this because it just got put away. She put it on the tree at first after dinner and said, well, where am I going to put these? And she put them on the tree. And then these glasses went on our Christmas tree every year after that. So what I've done now to tuck into the pocket is I've taken a picture of it, and I took a picture of the back. So I'm going to glue these together so that they can get tucked into the pocket. And then I'm going to write on, a piece of paper or something, the story of the table gifts. So I want to get this ready. I'm going to glue it down. So again, stop and start. I will pause and get this ready. Hold on. Okay, so I put it onto some light cardstock, and I put one photo on one side and one on the other. They're not really photos. What I did was I just printed it off my printer. Fortunately, my printer's old and crummy, but it does do black and white, and then I printed it onto creamy colored paper. So now what I want to do is sometimes back in the day, when you had your pictures developed, it would write the year. It would print the year on the white part of the frame around the picture. So I want to put 1965 here, just in like that. And that way the photo of the wonky glasses can go in there. And then I'm going to, later on tonight, just write out the story of table gifts and explain what these ones are, because most likely they'll end up on somebody's tree long after I'm gone. And they'll wonder, what on earth are these things, and why did she put them? What are they doing on the tree? Yes, my family was like that. So that would go in there like that. So there is my my combination, my two lists. So my combination of use a napkin. I used a cloth napkin, but I think it looks like a tablecloth. And then in behind there's candles that would be like on the dinner table. And then my story is the story of the table gifts. So, and with my family, yeah, when I raised my children, we didn't do table gifts at the table. But what we did instead was we used to play games all Christmas Eve, just games going all night long. And everyone would have to bring two little tiny gifts, like from the dollar store, anonymously wrapped. Keep it cheap. We don't want anyone going broke. We always had lots of guests come over as well on Christmas Eve, because they knew we'd be playing games all night. And that way, of the games we played, the winner could choose a prize out of the little gifty basket, and the loser could choose a prize out of the gifty basket. And everyone was good. Nobody tried to lose on purpose just to get a prize. And it was just a lot of fun. And of course, while the children were little, I bought the little prizes that went into the basket. But as they got older, it was actually a fun thing to look forward to get your prize gifties to go in. And it could be jokes. I remember one year, one of the prize gifties, my daughter got it. She bought a box of Gravol suppositories. And my father-in-law picked that one out of the basket. He won, I guess. I think it was euchre. And he opened it up and Gravol suppositories. And of course, he was such a lovely man. And in a loving way, I say he was stuffy, but he could be a little bit sort of gruff. And he wasn't quite sure, what is this? That made it all the more funny for the rest of us that Grandpa got the Gravol suppositories. Anyhow, so there's my story of, for me growing up, table gifts that sort of evolved and became what our family calls prize gifties for Christmas Eve. So it's still lots of fun. It's still harmless little tiny gifts that end up being more wonderful than the great big gifts of, people nowadays get flat screen TVs and such for Christmas. And quite often the joy in Christmas is in the tiny little funny gifts like this that become special. So that's going to stick out the bottom. I don't mind. This is going to be a mishmash of a book by the time it's done. I have a strong suspicion. So thanks for joining me for my December 6th December Daily. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care and stay safe, and we'll meet up again tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye.